Okay, so let's talk about running your electrical wires for your outlets and your light switches and installing your electrical boxes. This is a single gang box. This is an old work box, which means it's a remodeler. And what I like about this particular box is that it has the tabs on it, as you can see. So it works really well with these panels. You can just put that in, the tabs come up and lock it in place. But I also like the fact that it's a deeper box. This is 3.5 inches deep. So when you're dealing with all these wires and the outlet that goes in, having a deeper box just makes it so much easier. So keep that in mind when you go to look for your outlet boxes. Now, I've already got mine marked out. I'm going every 6 feet on the wall for my electrical boxes, and I'm using on the panel, they have these horizontal channels that run all the way through the panel. I'm using a lower one which measures 17 inches from the bottom of the panel to the center of this wire channel right here. So I'm using this box and I'm placing it at the top of this box at 16 3/4 off the bottom, because I want the wires come through the top of the box. So I want the top of the box to intersect that channel. That's why I've got it placed there. Now you can put this box anywhere you want on this panel, with the exception of the edges, because that's where your OSB is. You want to stay away from the OSB. So you want to be 2 inches in from each edge, otherwise you can put it anywhere you want. So now that I've got it marked out, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out all the way through, and then I can test fit it. So it's important to keep in mind though, when you cut these, you can either use a keyhole saw, you can use a utility blade. I like to use a multi-tool, which is what I've got here with a sharp blade on it. This is just so much quicker and it's so much cleaner to do it with this. So now that I've got it all marked out, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out and dry fit it. Okay, so it's all cut in. Now I can test fit it. And that's good. So it's a nice snug fit. And just to show you real quick, if you come over here, when the wire goes in the channel, you can see how it intersects here at the top of the box. You come over and get a closer look at that. Here's the channel right here. It comes in, there's the top of the box. And that's what I want, because that's where the wire goes in, is the top of the box. So that's why I'm intersecting right there. So now that that's cut in, it's a snug fit. The last thing I have to do is create these little pockets for these little tabs. These are the quick clamps that come out. And if you don't cut in some area for the foam here, these things can't operate. So what I have to do now is I have to cut some of this foam out on each side to allow those tabs to come out and clamp on. Again, it's easier to do this with a multi-tool. It's real quick and easy to do it with this. So I just created 2 little pockets right underneath the drywall. So these clamps, when you turn that screw, will come out and they'll clamp this on to the drywall. So now that that's all done and fits, I'm ready to install my panel, because you want to wait before you install this until you get it up on the wall. You want to run your wires through the open hole first, then feed them through the box, then put the box in. So I'm going to do that now. So I got my panel secured in place, and now you can see I've got my 12-2 coming out. I've got this one, which is on the chain, and then I've got this one here, which is actually going over to the box. So now that the wires are through, I can take my electrical box, run that through the top of the electrical box, one on each side. It's much easier to do it this way than to put your box in first, because now you can manipulate the wires. I'm going to run those through and push my box into the opening. Just make sure those tabs are set. Now with that in, I can just go ahead and tighten the screws, and those tabs are going to go ahead and lock into place and clamp onto that drywall. Do both sides. And that's it. Box is securely in place. Got my wires coming out. I can go ahead and strip those and pop those in. And that's it. That's how easy it is to do the electrical box in the panel. Now again, you can put those wherever you want. Wherever there's a channel, you can either put an electrical box or a switch, whatever you need to put in. But that's how you cut these in. Very easy to do, whether you use a multi-tool or a keyhole saw. Just make sure you cut all the way through and then put the electrical box in after you run the wires in.